What's happening, guys? We are back here again today for another video. As you guys can tell, I'm back in the garage, aka the habitat for horsepower. And on today's discussion, we're gonna be going over the top 5 most beneficial beginner budget mods for the Audi RS3. For anybody new, if this is your first time visiting the channel, welcome. Feel free to browse our library of content. We've got a lot of great informative videos, so if you're new, please consider subscribing. So without further ado, let's get into this list of beginner modifications. Starting off with number 1. This is gonna be a pretty simple one, guys. This is always a basic starting point, really for any platform, and that is gonna be a washable lifetime drop-in air filter. It's commonly known that a lot of paper filters are typically undesirable for your performance modification enthusiast. So what you can do is go ahead and find yourself a direct fit lifetime washable high flow air filter. There's lots of different brands. One of my personal favorites, been around for a long time, very much applicable to all different makes and models, and that's gonna be K&N filters. So if you don't wanna spend an arm and a leg, 1,500 bucks on some fancy carbon fiber air intake system, a drop-in filter is a great way to give yourself more performance, more airflow, and of course we can all appreciate the benefits of having a washable lifetime filter, so we don't have to keep throwing away paper filters every couple years. This is a K&N drop-in air filter for the Audi RS3. I'll be sure to leave an applicable link in the description box down below. Next, moving on the list, guys, ignition. This is a common area where I feel like a lot of car enthusiasts will tend to cut some corners. You plan on doing some upgrades, increasing your performance with various bolt-ons and tuning software. The last thing you want to worry about is having issues with misfire and weak output from an old set of coils. So the best thing you can do, take everything from a proactive standpoint, grab yourself some fresh plugs and coils. I personally like to use these APR ignition coils. If you care to read in more technical detail, again, link in the description box below. At the end of the day, the best thing you can have is a coil that's going to provide consistent energy output, so you're not gonna have problems down the road. If you're working with any Volkswagen Audi 2-liter platform, for example, the Audi A3, S3, or Golf R, you wanna make sure you grab a set of 4 coils. And of course, if you're working with an Audi RS3 or a TTRS, you've got the 5-cylinder Daza engine, you wanna make sure you pick up 5 of these. So moving on to number 3, guys, looking at drivetrain upgrades. One of the most beneficial things you can do for any transverse mount engine configuration is going to be some type of dog bone mount. If you ever happen to run your engine with the hood open, you apply some throttle, you can really see how that transverse engine tends to rock back and forth. Once you start increasing performance, you've got more load, you've got more stress on those mounts. You want to do everything you can to help beef up that drivetrain to cut down on unnecessary engine movement. The dog bone mount is a fantastic way to cut down on that sloppiness in between shifts. If you want more crisp responsiveness from that DSG, you're definitely going to want to pick up a dog bone mount. For this example with our Audi RS3, I'm using the ECS Tuning Billet Poly dog bone mount kit. One thing nice about this model is it is universal between both early and late variants among different years. So you can rest assured that you're gonna have consistency between your 17, 18, 19, and 20 models. And moving on to number 4, guys, this is gonna be a classic right here. Every Audi owner absolutely 100% should own one of these, and that of course is gonna be none other than an OBD11 scan tool. OBD11 has been around for many, many years. It's provided a tremendous amount of value for Audi and Volkswagen DIY enthusiasts. Everything from scanning and clearing fault codes, performing resets for service intervals. If you wanna make any cool aftermarket tweaks, for example, your mirror dip, needle sweep, daytime running light control, all the above, definitely wanna make sure you grab yourself an OBD11. Your average person's not gonna have an advanced scan tool, for example, like VCDS or Otis or something they would typically find at a dealership, so bang for the buck, you really can't beat OBD11. Moving on to our next modification on the list, guys, and that is going to be lowering springs. Yes, it's commonly known most of these cars out of the box will have a fair amount of wheel gap. I can't say it's terrible on the RS3, but for a lot of people, you're still gonna have somewhat of a 4x4 stance. If you wanna dial in better fitment, close off that gap, get a little bit more of that aggressive stance, lowering springs are gonna be a great cost-effective alternative to coilovers. I should mention as well, a lot of times lowering springs can be purchased used. You can always save some extra money by purchasing them secondhand. A lot of people, they'll buy a car like this, they drive for 6 months, they might throw some bolt-ons at it, they get bored, they're gonna rinse and repeat and move on to the next project, so that gives you a good chance to save a little money going secondhand. If you decide to attempt to do-it-yourself lowering spring install, guys, be very careful, follow your best judgment, make sure you have the equipment and the know-how, and of course, you always wanna make sure to have an alignment post-installation for best results. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for the list, guys. Thank you so much for checking out today's video. I'm gonna be sure to leave all product links in the description box down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already We've got a lot of exciting projects coming up here very soon for the Audi RS3. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know your modification plans for your RS3 or TTRS, and I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Have an awesome day.